back to you, Stuart Park and Paul Nicholson.
Well, what a chance for Kyle Anderson to etch his name in Australian darting history. Anderson, who has made a real name for himself over the last 12 or 18 months, lost to Taylor twice at the Sydney Darts Masters in the last couple of years, but this is a different player, a different person, back home in Perth. I'm hoping to cause a huge upset against the defending champion here at the Perth Darts Masters. Anderson get off to a flyer. He's got a real chance against Taylor. Despite his 6-1 win against the Kiwi, Craig Caldwell looked a little rusty at times, struggled on the doubles. What a chance here for Kyle Anderson to make a big name for himself in Australian darts.
He's got an absolutely enormous chance tonight, but he is going to have to get out the blocks. He's done the first job, which is win the bullseye. And, you know, 12 months on from when he made the semi-finals at the Sydney Masters, what has Kyle done? He's stepped up. He made the world match play, played a fantastic game against the eventual finalist, James Wade, but he came out of that performance covered in roses and glory because he played really, really well.
Well, he did. He was possibly 2 or 3 darts away from being in charge of that game. 2 or 3 missed darts at doubles, and Wade took control, as James Wade does. And of course, James Wade went on to beat Phil Taylor and then lost the final to Michael van Gerwen, the world match play. In case you don't know, millions watching around the world to this World Series triple header. Perth, Sydney and Auckland, the world match play, the second biggest tournament after the World Championship. And it was won by Michael van Gerwen in Blackpool in July. Phil Taylor had won it time after time after time. He was denied the 16th match play title by James Wade. Kyle Anderson here, that's a great dart. He hits a lot of 180s, you know, Kyle Anderson.
Certainly does hit a lot of 180s. Speaking to Kyle at length over the last few days since coming to Perth, he said he was really, really nervous about this tournament. Being his backyard, he felt like he had something to prove. But I think after last night, being involved in that real tussle with Stephen Bunting, he doesn't feel nervous anymore. And looking at the footage tonight, he doesn't look nervous to me. He looks determined.
58. So
a chance for Taylor to pinch the opening leg, and how many times have we said that over the years, and how many times has Phil Taylor done that over the years? He's going to get a dart at tops.
I thought Phil was going to hit that. There was just something in the air, but I was wrong. 48 for Kyle. He started this leg, he'll want this tops, and he's got it. That's a perfect shot. That's the dart you want to settle the nerves if there was any there. He's going to feel really good now.
Well, do you know what was most impressive for me about Kyle Anderson's performance against Stephen Bunting in the first round is that how he held it together, because he raced into a 4-1 lead. He missed darts to go 5-2 up. He was in total control. Bunting, of course, got it back to force a deciding leg. Both had darts to win the match in that last leg before Kyle Anderson did. But he looks good here, doesn't he?
He does look good. He looks like he's got an air of confidence about him. And if you're going to beat Phil Taylor, you've got to beat him when he's not at his best. Because if he plays his best game, he's almost unbeatable.
Well, he's already stolen the darts. Look at this. What a chance here for Kyle Anderson in this second leg. We'll have to switch now. Could do with a treble. Good dart from Kyle Anderson, who from nowhere, in just 7 or 8 months, has got himself in the top 50 in the world. He took the gamble of committing himself to play full-time on the PDC circuit, which meant living in the UK, in the Midlands, in Nottingham, while his family were back here in Perth. Heck of a sacrifice, but it's been worth it.
Well, that's the word. Simon's done it, I've done it, Kyle has now done the same. He's made that big trip back to the UK, and it's about that word sacrifice. And now it's a different kind of sacrifice that he has to do to take the next step. It's sacrificing time with your family, your friends. You spend your time in the hotels, on the flights, get yourself in the tournaments. He's got himself in the best possible position to kick on, and now he's got to do that because he's never going to have a better opportunity. He's young, you know, he's confident, I've never met someone much more confident than Kyle Anderson. He just believes in his ability, and he believes his destiny is to be a fantastic Aboriginal advocate.
Naive, I think you have to say, with the last dart there for Kyle Anderson, trying to leave a finish and hit a single 5 and didn't. But look at this, 147!
111.
But Anderson, with that last visit, never really gave himself a chance. He's now going to rely on Phil Taylor missing.
127.
Now it remains to be seen whether that little
36.
tactical shot from Kyle will get into Phil Taylor's head. He'll have done it to try and mess him up a bit. That's not a good lie for Phil Taylor. This is a great shot if he hits it.
27.
Maybe that 7 that Kyle hit was a little tactic. He's going to have 2 darts at tops for 2-0. Great lie to the right. And he went to the left.
What a chance. 2 darts missed at tops for 2-0.
Phil's got 9. That's the hard one. Double 4. There it is, right in the middle. Kyle has to save himself. He had a chance. But on this occasion he didn't take it. All's not lost though. 1-1, and it's on the darts.
But you know, Paul, for me, those are the chances that Kyle Anderson really has to take if he's going to challenge Phil Taylor. And 2 darts, big moment, fluffed his lines. Got to hold it together now, but that was a great chance for 2-0.
It was a wonderful chance, especially when his first dart was a fantastic guide to actually nick that leg against the darts. Shane Burgess famously once said that you do get chances against Phil Taylor, which are 161s and 164s. But on this occasion, 52 is a monumental opportunity, and unfortunately he didn't take it.
And he knows it. He's made a poor start to this 3rd leg. I think he's actually weighing on his mind. He knows that was a great chance to steal a march on Taylor. Sydney Darts Masters 2013. Kyle Anderson was very much an unknown quantity. Taylor won 6-1.
60.
And then Anderson went to the World Championship, hit that historic 9-darter at the Alexandra Palace, and then reached the semi-finals in Sydney on the World Series tour last year. Taylor won that 10-4 comfortably in the end, but all part of the learning curve for Kyle Anderson. And at the moment, this is turning out to be a harsh darting lesson for Anderson.
What's very interesting, Stuart, is that this time last year when we were going into the Sydney Masters, Kyle Anderson was talking about coming back to Australia and not going back to England to play the Pro Tour. One tournament changed his life, the Sydney Masters last year. He went back to the UK, played so much better on the Pro Tour over the last 12 months, had a very good World Championships, qualified for the World Match Play, and now he can't wait to get back to the UK to play more tournaments. Because it looks like he will be going to the World Grand Prix in Dublin this year as well.
Yeah. Heck of an achievement to qualify for these big tournaments from a standing start, really. Taylor to break.
Game
2-1. And that 2nd leg and those chances that Kyle Anderson missed now.
Game on.
Looking to be important.
Kyle will be very disappointed with that. By winning the bullseye in the back room, he would love the fact that he'd be throwing first in the majority of the legs that they're going to play on that stage, and he basically gifted Phil Taylor the advantage there. And the look in Phil Taylor's eyes, you just see it sometimes. It doesn't look like he wants to give Kyle an inch tonight.
Well, I know you're very good friends with Kyle Anderson, but he's after your job, mate. He wants to represent Australia at the World Cup of Darts in Frankfurt next June. That means knocking you out of it.
Well, a lot of people think that he should have got my spot this year. Well, if he could have double 18 better than me, maybe he should have had it. But as long as I'm above him in the rankings, I'm going to be pulling on that Aussie jersey, that's for certain. But if I have to surrender my place to Kyle, it'll be because of effort and results. And if he gets it, I'll wish him all the best.
Yeah, fair enough.
140.
Well, good response here from Kyle Anderson. Just like the way he goes about his business. He hasn't started as well as he would have hoped, and he certainly hasn't scored as well as we've become used to
83.
over the last year or so. But Phil Taylor is off the pace as well. Let's make no mistake. Taylor not at his best, so I'm sure Kyle Anderson can sense he's got a great opportunity here. 140, 140. Possible 11 darter to break straight back.
Well, the perfect riposte to losing your throw, Stuart, is to break back straight away. Perfect bounce back ability, and let's see what he's made of. Because Taylor's left 78, so he's going to have to go for treble 19 now. 62, got to go single 12. Took the gamble, double 13.
55.
It was a gamble for the treble 12, but he hit it. He had the biggest segment for double 13, and he's missed another chance to break back with Phil. Left 78. Single 20 now. Double top to hold. There it is.
Cruel game, isn't it? Kyle Anderson could easily have been 2-0 up. He could easily have been 3-1 in front, Kyle Anderson. But Phil Taylor dishing out the darting punishment, and Taylor leads 3-1, and he just has the uncanny ability of knocking the stuffing and the confidence and the belief out of his opponents.
That's absolutely right, Stuart. That's what Eric Bristow taught him in the late 80s. It was about bullying your opponent, and when you get chances, take them, especially when they've missed chances. Phil Taylor has taught everybody two very good lessons in his darting career. One, kick your opponent when they're down. A 180 from Kyle, that's what he needs. He needs a lot more of that to get the crowd involved, and that could have an effect on this match. But as we were saying, Phil has a very famous analogy for big-time darts, and it's something I actually can't see on live TV. But it's a brilliant rule. It's basically about you can't practice being in certain situations. Look what Kyle's found now. He's back.
That's magnificent response. Back-to-back 180s from the Aussie star, who left 81 after 9 in the last leg, but missed a dart to level the match at 2-all.
100.
Surely he'll get this back to 3-2 from here.
81 it is. Won't go the same route this time because Phil's not on it. But 81 double 16. He's coming back. He wants to be 3-2 going into the break. Well, he wants to be 3-3 going into the break.
Well, he should be in front. But this is pressure from Taylor. Well, it's the ultimate pressure from Taylor. Kyle Anderson could easily be in front in this game. That's a great leg. I have to say, showed a lot of character, a bit of bottle, no little amount of skill in that leg. 3-2.
Lots of skill indeed. He'll be really pleased with the way he plays in that leg, and I get the feeling the crowd is starting to get involved too. I really do. This is quite a volatile atmosphere for the power, and let's see how he handles it.
Partisan.
96.
Phil is used to having a lot of the crowd behind him, but they're all behind this man, Kyle Anderson. 140's okay. Missed 2 darts to go 2-0 up, Kyle Anderson. Missed another dart to make it 2-2, but well, fancies chances maybe here of making it 3-all.
Well, he's going to have to mirror that shot. Another 140 here will put him in the driving seat. It's a perfect start. Just going to shift to the left here to see if he can see more of the bed. Ton will do, keeps him on level pegging.
Got a really nice, fluent, flowing, throwing style.
It's the kind of throw that will stand the test of time. It's straight up and straight down. It's a brilliant thing to watch. Kyle Anderson has a lot of people who have flown from all over the country for this particular tournament. The support he has had over the last few days has been monumental.
Yeah.
45.
Inundated with messages of support, Kyle Anderson. After his win over Stephen Bunting and before this match here with Phil Taylor, great local support. As it should be, partisan. Cheer on the hometown boy.
Absolutely. I mean, this is Kyle's hometown. Home advantage, why not? Be the same if I was playing in Melbourne or when Simon plays in Sydney. There are backyards. And I get booed everywhere I go, Stuart. Even my friends like to boo me.
28.
It's looking good for Taylor in this leg, though.
We'll make an exception in the commentary box. 101 for Taylor. 6 darts if he needs them.
Double 16 it is for 4-2. 4-2 it is. And Kyle doesn't get the 3-3. It's 4-2 to the power.
Yeah, clinical as well. And Phil Taylor having a word with Russ Brave, the referee. I wonder if that's about the partisan home crowd. We shall see. But Taylor here leads 4-2. But Kyle Anderson, the latest Aussie darting star, is right in this quarter-final. Race to 8. Taylor 4-2 in front. Well, terrific game so far between Phil Taylor, the defending champion here in Perth, and the hometown hero, Kyle Anderson. Should really be level at 3 apiece. Anderson missing darts in 2 legs against Taylor and has paid the price. Phil picking up the pace, averaging over 100 in the last 3 legs to take control of this quarter-final. Next on the World Series Tour, next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Sydney. Michael Van Gerwen against James Wade. Our first semi-final here in Perth. Phil Taylor or Kyle Anderson against Adrian Lewis or Gary Anderson in the second semi on Sunday here at the HBF Stadium.
Well, Phil is in control here, 4-2 up. He's in the same position that James Wade was in against Peter Wright earlier. James reeled off 4 consecutive legs. Phil will be wanting to get off that stage as soon as possible. I don't think he likes this partisan atmosphere, because he's, like you say, Stuart, he's not used to it. But I think Kyle should have really riled them up in the break, you know, get them quite vocal, get them loud, because he really, really does play his best darts when he's got that support with him.
98.
Kyle Anderson will be also hoping that he will have done enough to get through to the World Series finals in Scotland.
98.
November the 21st and 22nd in Glasgow. That will be a terrific couple of days for sure.
It certainly will. And unfortunately, Kyle is not actually going to be playing in the Sydney Masters this year, and he's not going to be playing in Auckland, which is a bit of a disappointment. He's chosen to go and see family in Queensland, and I fully respect that. Kyle's a huge family man. It means a lot to him, you know, about his culture and his family. It means everything to him. Darts does come second or third to that, but I'm sure he'll do enough to get there, and it'll be great to see him in Glasgow. He'll be well supported by all the guys up there in Glasgow for sure.
Well, yet again, the set-up shot from Phil Taylor, for me, is the difference between the two players. It's what's done the damage. He's given himself another chance here, Taylor, for what would be a double break of throw. But again, the 140 set-up shot has opened the door for Taylor.
Taylor has 70 now. What's he going to do? 12 or 20? 12 it is for tops for 5-2. 5-2 it is, and that's a real kick in the stones to Kyle Anderson.
And it's the second time that Taylor has done exactly that, hitting the 140 and then the 70 out. And Kyle Anderson now, it's a long way back. The match may well have been lost in the early stages, but Taylor's finishing, which has been of a real concern for him over the last 12 months or so, has been spot on when it has really mattered in this match. But the difference, I maintain, has been Taylor's set-up shot, which have put pressure on Anderson, and then Taylor has followed it up by winning the leg.
I couldn't agree with you more there, Stuart, and I think if you look at his doubles percentage, for instance, which is currently at 45%, that's not setting the world on fire, but it's the timing of certain shots which have actually got him in this position, and that is true Phil Taylor-like.
57.
Kyle's going to have to kick really, really quickly. He's going to have to do something that Michael van Gerwen does a lot, which is have that 3 or 4 leg spell to really get him back in this game. And Kyle does have that little kick. He's actually played on the Pro Tour against the likes of Van Gerwen and people like Raymond van Barneveld, and had kicking styles like that. So he does have it in his game. He's just got to get that one thing to kick him on, a big finish, a couple of 180s like he did in the first half. So we've got to see what he's made of now.
100.
May not be enough. 100. Phil Taylor down at number 3 in the world. Gary Anderson has taken his spot at number 2. Of course, Michael van Gerwen overhauled him as world number 1 a little while ago.
I wonder, Stuart, when was the last time Phil Taylor was number 3 in the world? I know a couple of guys who might know that. Our spotter, Richard Ashdown, possibly Andy Scott, who's the statistician for the PDC. If you guys know at home, don't be afraid to tweet us at official PDC or at Perth Darts.
Yeah, let us
We'd
know.
love to know.
Taylor with another one, this time a 106. His finishing has been really, really good. 2 10-plus finishes and 3 out of 4 on tops for Philip Taylor. In charge of this quarter-final. And, you know, we talked about the crowd factor. The crowd has fallen silent because of the way Phil Taylor's playing.
Well, the great Sid Waddell once said, you could hear a blob of vinegar drop on a chip. You could hear a blob of cheese drop on a Parmigiano in Australia right now because the crowd are silent. And that's what Phil Taylor has done. He has governed this game. He's basically done exactly what James Wade did to Peter Wright earlier. Kyle needs more of that.
He needs a lot more of that. 51, 180 so far here in Perth 2015. Will it be 52?
140.
Not quite, but Phil's going to be happy about being 6-2 up. That is the only stat he's looking at right now. He can't wait to get to 8. The only person who can stop him is Kyle Anderson. It's not often you see a nun with white wraparound sunglasses and a handlebar moustache.
100. Carl will require 102.
To stay in it. Double 16. Beautifully done. In a rhythm, when he gets in a rhythm, that's what he can do.
That was a very natural shot, wasn't it, Stuart? Unlike the 81 from earlier, he had to readjust for the double 13. I think on this occasion, he knew he was going to hit a 10, and he knew he was going to go for the double 16 on this occasion. And like you said, the rhythm of that shot was much, much better. And that is the first step to the comeback.
Well, Kyle Anderson, as we mentioned, has rocketed into the top 50 in the world, number 43 at the moment, where Where do you think potentially he could be in 12 months' time?
Well, if you look at players who have really, really good spells, like Stephen Bunting, I remember Mervyn King when he first joined the PDC, and he managed to get in the top 10 in the first couple of years, which is a phenomenal achievement. I think for Kyle, a realistic ambition by the end of this year is possibly top 24.
Well, he'll qualify for the World Championship by merit, and that was his only aim at the start of the year. So everything else that he has achieved and is achieving is a bonus, but certainly top 32 in the next couple of months is the aim for Kyle Anderson. But yeah, I agree. I think if he sticks at it, he can achieve whatever he wants to. But it's
57.
going to be really difficult for him with the family being back in Perth, and they're not going to move back to the UK whatever happens. So it's striking that balance, isn't it?
It is striking that balance, and I'm sure it's really difficult for Kyle having his family so far away, and the only thing that really will make it worthwhile is if he's successful. So he'll want to do everything in his power to basically make it worth not seeing his child grow up and spending time with his partner.
Well, he won't go for the double 19. He splits it, 6 to leave, double 16. And Taylor here looking to go within one leg of victory. And there we have it again. His finishing percentage, 47%, up to 50% now. Success rate, 7 out of 14. And that's much more like it from Taylor.
It's looking very ominous for Kyle, isn't it? He's now got to go 5 perfect legs to beat Phil Taylor. How many people can say that they've won 5 consecutive legs from the greatest dart player ever? Michael van Gerwen did it once at Minehead. But that's the riposte from Mr. Power. 177. So he'll be looking for a 9-darter to finish this match.
Well, Michael van Gerwen, 7 perfect darts in his first round victory over David Platt. He was thinking about it, wasn't he, Taylor?
Certainly was. The best time to hit a 9-darter is definitely the last leg of a match. There has been a 9-darter in the Southern Hemisphere. Only one of them by Mervyn King in the South African Masters against James Wade a few years back. I don't think there's another televised recorded one. Taylor's got to go downstairs now. Another one of those will be good. And he gets it, leaves 132, so he's in command of this leg. If Kyle can't put some pressure on this shot, needs some lipstick. There it is. Another one will be brilliant.
100. Phil, you require 132.
Ball route. So a chance here for Kyle
124.
to keep this game alive. 86 it is for Kyle Anderson. Can he, well, loose one. Couple 15 maybe for tops. That will be the target.
Not to be on this occasion.
76.
Taylor's coming back. He can't wait to get to the hockey. Really quick. Double 4 it is for the match. Double 4 it is.
One dart. That's all Phil Taylor needed. And the hometown hero Kyle Anderson is out. The defending champion here in Perth. Relentless. Taylor through to another semi-final. Great performance as well. 100 average from Taylor.